Hi everybody, for those of you new to the channel, I'm Teresa Parent, and today I want to discuss TAL with you because it's come to my attention that some of you were unaware. This was my play of the week last week, and I gave a thesis in Stock Talk Weekly's play of the week, which is every Sunday at 8 p.m. on Twitter, and actually won last week, the play of the week. So congrats to all of you that are in this and took this trade with me. But guys, this trade is not done. And I'm in this as a swing trade, and I want to present my thesis to those of you that haven't heard it and update those of you that are in this play and let you know where we stand. So I have some exciting news to share with you regarding this ticker, and we made a brand new 52-week high today. Congrats, everybody. This has just been an amazing run, and I'm so excited because it's far from over. So let's get started. Please remember, nothing I say is financial advice, and always do your own DD. Okay, guys, I want to start with a tweet that came from Money Flow Mel, and if you don't follow her, you really should. She can be found on Twitter at Melstone, S-T-O-N-E 31. And guys, her tweet says, larger dark pool activity after hours in China ETFs. ASHR 1.91 million shares were bought at $27.70, and FXI 1.15 million shares were bought at $28.06. Now, what that means, guys, is that I'm not the only one bullish on Chinese stocks. That means that the institutions are loading the boat in these ETFs that are Chinese stock loaded. And that means that they're bullish on China's stocks and opening as well. So this is very, very bullish for TAL and for other Chinese names. Now, guys, FXI is a ticker that I play a lot if you want general exposure to Chinese stocks. It's a really good one. I don't know much about ASHR, but I'm assuming it's on the same lines. And also, the reason I recommend you follow Money Flow Mel is because she's very insightful for giving you information on dark pool prints, on option buys, on what big money is doing. And guys, I'll be the first one to tell you, if you want to win at this game, you need to follow what big money is doing, okay? And she offers a service that you can join as well, but you don't have to. She gives out some great information that's just online. So for beginner traders, I'd recommend just following her, get an idea of what she's doing. If you want to learn more, then talk to her. Maybe you want to join her platform, but this is not a paid advertisement or sponsor, and I'm not a member myself, but I just really, really like what she has to say, and I've been in some of her spaces. So I like to share informative people and, you know, smart choices that you can make in the market and people that can help you with you. So, you know, consider giving her a follow. Anyways, going back to TAL, guys, we have just had an amazing run. Actually, let's show you the chart first. I mean, this stock went all the way down to $1.60, but that's not when we started following it. I'm not even sure where we were last week, but I know that I've been riding this one since about $4 or $5, $5. And it's been really range bound for a while, and finally it got a very nice breakout, which I called out. I made it my play of the week on the thesis that I'm going to go over with you right now, which I'm going to start by showing you where we landed on this chart. Guys, we are right smack dab, and I'm going to show you a better chart at the end of this video with great technical analysis. We are smack dab at the start of filling a gap fill that goes all the way from $9.63 to $19.56. Sorry, hard to remember that off the top of my head, but I've said it enough times I should. So, guys, we had just closed that candle above. That's the start of the gap fill today, which is very bullish. Now, I am very optimistic, but I cannot lie. There has been 8 green days in a row. It would not surprise me one bit if we were to get a pullback, which is why I'm bringing this to your attention right now, because a red day is probably overdue, and you're going to notice later that our RSI is extended on the daily chart. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but one is coming, so when we have it, don't get shocked and don't get scared. Things have to cool off so we can make their next leg higher. However, I'm very confused because it happens to fall right at the start and right at the candle that's into this lovely start of a gap fill. So where does that leave us? I'm very uncertain. We could rip tomorrow or we could take a step back. At any rate, it doesn't matter to me. I'm 100% bullish on this and I'm so excited. And I know that, if we get a slight pullback, it's not the end of the world because it's just going to keep on going. But I say that to caution you, especially if you're playing options on this, that if you're looking to buy, you may want to give yourself some time just in case. I mean, I'm into January options, guys, January 20th. So at any rate, let's continue. We are showing right now that short, long, and medium term, we are moving up in this ticker. And I'd agree with that 100%. We have a bullish signal going on. So everything's looking really, really good, guys. Oh, this I found interesting too, which is why I'm wondering if we're going to get a pullback day because somebody always knows something. And despite the massive rip and move to the upside that we had today, prices rise and capital flowed out. Our net inflow, meaning those selling, were more than those buying. What does that mean? Some capital is exiting or short positions are being established. It's a good question, guys. I honestly don't know. I would be thinking it could be either, but a lot of people on like FinTwit and stuff, I don't think they really know what's going on with this ticker and about the gap fill. Not just FinTwit, but like Webull, which take it with a grain of salt, StockTwit, all that stuff. People, I just randomly scanned comments and I saw, I'm closing out at $10. Well, we hit $9.97 today, so does that mean that they closed? I mean, it's a 52-week high and there's a gap fill, so that doesn't make sense to me. Why somebody would be thinking like that unless they just don't realize the situation that we're in and they set a goal for what they wanted for profits, met it, and are done. But sometimes, guys, you got to let your runners run, especially if there's a thesis behind it. And I'm not telling you, to buy, sell, or hold. That's completely up to you. I'm just presenting what's going on with this ticker so you can make an informed decision. Now, the short interest is showing that it's 6.54% with 1.21 days to cover. There are 5,600,000 shares available to short. Guys, these keep getting more and more, so it doesn't look like shorting is going on. It looks like, if anything, they're closing out shorts. And I also took a look at the action regarding institutions and what they're buying and selling. And it looks like, if anything, shorts are getting closed out because some firms are closing their positions and a lot of firms are buying. So kind of confused. But anyways, the cost to borrow is very cheap. So if they wanted to short, it's 0.35%. About as cheap as it gets. And the short volume ratio today was 46.5%. So those are the amount of shares shorted in the dark pool. Now, take a look, because the 2-week high was $60.37% and the 2-week low was 31.61%. And guys, most days here, with the exception of 2, it's been below 50%. So that's actually really good. To be honest, I think that shorts are starting to get exhausted in this play and realize that they're not going to win, especially with today's closing candle, starting in that gap fill. Now, failure to delivers right now don't come into place. There's a couple starting towards the end of the month, but again, nothing significant. Clearly, there's enough shares for them to borrow that this is not going to become an issue. So I wouldn't even consider them right now. Now, as far as what Fintel's showing us for institutional ownership, and please only take this as a source, because this data is often very behind and they do not have to disclose their short positions unless there's something like a pension fund that's required to. So most of the time, guys, they're not going to tell you their plays, okay? Unless they're required to, then forget about it. Now, the current information that we have is that institutions own 45.10% of this stock. So that's a very good thing, guys. You want to be involved in stocks that institutions are a part of. Because guess what? When they're not and when their buddies aren't, what are they doing? Take a look at some of the favorite retail names. BBIG, Mullen, two that I can say for sure that they're shorting the crap out of, right? And there's plenty of others I can think of, but we'll leave it at that. Now, and I'm a bull on Mullen, so please don't take that like as a negative comment. I just know that they're shorting the crap out of it. Now, continuing on, 290 total institutions own this, 277 are long, and 13 have a long-short combination. So guys, oftentimes what that means is institutions don't want to lose money, right? So they counteract their risk in case something happens by taking out calls and puts as well as their long shares, or vice versa. If they're short a position, they might take out, calls on it just in case it goes the other way. And that's just how they hedge themselves. That's why they're called hedge funds. So anyways, guys, that's what institutional money is doing. I am very bullish on this. Again, eight green days in a row. It wouldn't shock me if we had a pullback at all, and it could be coming, but also I find it very odd, the timing of that, because of where that candle closes. So I can't say for sure what direction it's going to head into towards the end of the week, but I can say that the reason I titled this 2x your money is because I am extremely bullish that those of you getting in around $9, $10, it's going to go to approximately, at least, and it could keep ripping from there, $19.56 would be my target for this swing play, my first target. Now, if it continues moving to the upside, the 2-year high on this is $90, guys. So there's a long way to run, okay? Now, let's take a look at the chart, and we'll finish with that. Okay, guys, we're looking at the daily 2-year chart of TAL, and what I want to show you is most importantly this gap fill that we have, and unfortunately my pointer is not working. But if you look at all the way over to the left side of your screen, you should be able to see about a quarter of the way over a large gap in the chart, and that's what I'm talking about when I say we have a gap fill from $9.63, I believe it is, to $19.56. So guys, it was very important that we got above that $9.63 today, which we did, and we closed above it. And even better, if you look at this dotted red line, that's our VWAP, and we closed above VWAP as well. This is very, very bullish. Guys, we are trading above all the smaller moving averages, and everything's starting to curl to the upside. Now, I want you to also look at the volume. I would like to start seeing the volume increase in this stock, and perhaps it will now that we know that a bunch of prints in the dark pool went to Chinese ETFs. So that tells me that I'm not the only one with eyes on China stocks. This is very bullish. The only thing that I would like to see is our RSI is at 80. I'd like to see that cool off just a bit. Again, when a stock is moving and it's been beat down as long as it has, the RSI can stay overextended for some time, just like sometimes you see that it stays for weeks at a time being oversold and overbought, both. So it's very possible that we don't cool off. But guys, ultimately, I think at some point we're going to need to. That being said, I think we're going to get a Santa Claus rally. I think you're going to see us get that gap fill very, very soon, as in could be as early as this week. If not, I know volume is light. I would not be surprised if it happens before Christmas. If it doesn't, I would expect it before the new year. However, guys, there's no guarantee that this is just going to rocket straight up. I would love to see that. Again, there's no resistance there, so it's very possible. But ultimately, the best way to do it would be the way Kaba is right now, where it's filling its gap, where it's moving up, you know, a dollar or two at a time, and then it's leveling and making consolidation. I'm saying this one as a dollar or two because of the way that it moves. CABA is more like 50 cents at a time and consolidating. But guys, you can see that in the past 2 years, we're down quite a bit as the high was over $90. Ultimately, do I think we can get back there? I don't think that's going to come as quick. I definitely think it's a possibility. If you notice the options chain, they added a lot more strikes. So who knows? Maybe volume comes into this and we start squeezing, guys. But I definitely think hedge funds are paying attention to the Chinese names as well. I think that we usually see China break out before the U.S. or collapse before the U.S. stocks. In general, they just seem to be leading us. So it's a very good indicator that we're seeing movement to the upside in these Chinese names, because that means that U.S. stocks should hopefully follow suit eventually. You know, usually there is some lag between, but guys, from what I saw today, it looks like we may get a Santa Claus rally, so I'm staying positive. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. I hope that this helped explain the gap fill and showed you what I'm looking at. As far as the MACD, sorry, I forgot. You can see that the red has just crossed above the green, and guys, we have a long way to run in the MACD, so that is very, very bullish. All right.